Awesome. All right, Madam Chair, I believe the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good evening. The City of Boston Zoning Board of Appeal Subcommittee hearing for December 9th, 2021 is now in session. This hearing is being conducted in accordance with the applicable provisions of the open meeting law, including the provisions of an act extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency that was signed by Governor Baker on June 16, 2021. The new law allows the board to continue its practice of holding virtual hearings that it adopted during the COVID-19 pandemic until April 1st, 2022. This hearing of the board is being held remotely via the WebEx event platform. In order to ensure this hearing of the board is open to the public, members of the public may access this hearing through telephone and video conferencing. The information for connecting to this hearing is listed on today's hearing agenda, which is posted on the public notices page of the city's website, boston.gov. Members of the public will enter the virtual hearing as attendees, which means you will not see yourself on the screen and you will be muted throughout unless administratively unmuted when asked to comment. As with our in-person meetings, comments in support will be followed by comments in opposition. The order of comments is as follows: elected officials, representatives of elected officials, and members of the public. The number of people called upon to offer comment and the time for commenting will be limited by the chair as time constraints require. For that reason, the board prefers to hear from members of the public who are most impacted by a project. That is, by those individuals who live closest to the project. If you wish to comment on an appeal, please click the raise your hand icon in the application via the WebEx event platform. To raise your hand, click the participant information icon. From there, find your name, and on the lower right-hand side, you should see a hand-raising icon. Click that icon and your hand will be raised virtually. Click it again and your hand should go down. If you are connected to the hearing by telephone, please press star 3 to raise your hand. Again, for those who are calling in, please press star 3 to raise your hand. Those called upon to comment will be asked to state their name and address first, and then can provide the comments. In the interest of time, and to ensure that you have enough time to do so, please raise your hand as soon as Mr. Fortune reads the address into the record. Do not raise your hand before the relevant address is called, or the meeting host will not know to call on you at the appropriate time. I will take a quick roll call of members. Mr. Fortune.
I'm here, Madam Chair.
Good to see you again, Mr. Robinson.
I'm here too.
Likewise, good to see you again,
You too.
Mr.
Thank you.
Fortune. It's to you now.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The first order is there any deferrals or withdrawals for the 5 o'clock cases? If you can give me the address.
Sure. 33 Bartlett Street in Charlestown. This is Tim Sheehan.
Sure. For the record, calling BOA 119-4620, 33 Bartlett Street. Name and address for the record, please.
My name is Tim Sheehan. I'm the architect. I'm at 9 Wall Street in Charlestown. We were before the board in November. We were looking for a later date, like March or April, but you couldn't do it on the system at the time. So you told me to come on this time and ask for a deferral. It's going well with the neighbors. We're 90% of the way there. It's just tough to get anybody together, around the holidays. So,
Yep, makes sense. So may I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion for deferral. Mr. Sheehan, do you think you'd be able to meet in January or February?
could we do, just to be safe, could we do March just to give ISD time?
Okay.
March 17th.
Mr. Robinson, are you in support of that motion?
Yes. Yep.
Okay,
So-
I too am in support. The date, please, Mr.
March
Fortune.
17th at 5 p.m.
St. Patty's Day. Thank you very much.
St. Patrick's Day. Well,
Yeah. All right. Thank you all.
Okay,
Are
see you
there any-
then.
Are there any other deferrals or withdrawals for 5 o'clock? Hearing none, I'll go to the first two cases. Case BOA 125-3228, 55 Dell Avenue. There's a companion case BOA 125-3232, 57 Dell Avenue. This is for 55 Dell Avenue. The change of occupancy from a single family to a two-family dwelling. It's a complete renovation of the whole building. Construct a new sunroom, head house, roof deck, and existing roof level and rear addition. The violation is Article 59, Section 37, off-street parking is insufficient. Article 59, Section 8, the floor area ratio is excessive. Article 59, Section 8, the building height is excessive in stories. Article 59, Section 8, the building height is excessive in feet. And Article 59, Section 8, the front yard is insufficient. Madam Chair, I believe the purpose is the same, but I just want to double check. The violations are definitely the same. Actually, it's a little bit different, 57. It's a confirm occupancy, a single-family dwelling, change occupancy to a two-family dwelling. Construct a new sunroom, head house at the existing roof level and rear addition. The violations are the same. Name and address for the record, please.
Anthony Mackey, 42 Beacon Street, Gloucester, Massachusetts.
Mr. Markey, can you speak up, please? I'm just a little bit hard of hearing. Can you please tell us what you're proposing to do and tell us about that roof deck and how you're proposing to access that roof deck?
Yes, Madam Chair. Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is Anthony Mackey. I'm representing Liam Comerford and William Comerford, owners of 55 and 57 Dell Avenue. All the items I discussed tonight will apply to both buildings. They are the same and both proposals are the same. Way back, it was determined, I contacted the ZBA and they expressed at the time that it made sense to go for both applications at the same time as they are
Tell us,
similar. And
please, to be cognizant of the other applicants who are waiting, can you go directly and tell us what's being proposed? And again, answer my question about the roof deck and the roof and access to that roof deck?
yes, Madam Chair. Both buildings are existing single families. We're proposing to split them into 2 units each. Access to the upper level office roof deck area will be through unit 2 of both buildings by stair.
I'm sorry, so what will, so, let's see. Can you please scroll back one page back? Thank you. So this is the second unit?
This plan you're looking at is the garden level of unit 1.
Okay,
So there's 2 bedrooms. Yep.
okay. And tell us what page we should be looking at to look at the roof deck?
Slide 9 and 10. Stop at slide 9 right there. Yep, that's the top level of unit 2 and the stair with the sign that says up. That will be access to the next slide. That is the roof level with the new head house office space that we're proposing with decks on either side.
Okay, and each building looks exactly alike. What's the
Correct.
dimension of that head house?
Oh, go back one slide, please. Yeah, it's interior dimensions 11.9 by 16.
Okay. And is there a rear addition too?
Yes, if you look at the slide there, you see the grayed outside where the red dashed line is. There's existing bays there. They were damaged in the fire that occurred in April of 2019, and we're proposing to replace those with new structure.
And that new structure, which looks like it's a boxy structure, is that right? Goes up all 3 floors?
Please go to slide number 11. Correct, right there. The structure off the rear of the building only goes from the garden level to level 2 to level 3.
Okay, and tell us about the garden level. What's the floor to ceiling height in there?
As proposed, it's around 8'2".
Okay, and what's the floor to sill height?
Floor to the rear windows are standard in the rear because of the grade drops off, so those would be standard 24 inches. In the front section, it is 5'6", so we will need to add a platform for egress purposes to get to the 44-inch sill height requirement for egress windows.
So if I'm reading this right, the bedrooms in the bedroom in the garden level would be for the most part underground. Is that what I'm reading?
The windows are high, Madam Chair, but by my calculations, there's 16 square feet of glazed area. As it
Okay.
being a bay, there's a middle window and 2 side windows, which add up to 16 square feet of glazed area total.
So if I'm 5'2" and if there is a fire, how do I get out of that bedroom through a window?
Yes, the building will be sprinkled as part of this project, both buildings. And then what we are going to propose is to build a platform that raises it up. So it'll be a 3-foot by 3-foot platform on the inside in the bay that allows the person to stand on that platform and open the windows. The middle window will be the egress window at 7.25 square feet.
Okay.
When it's open.
So the layout looks like at the first floor level, it's kitchen living space, and the basement, the bedrooms are in the basement, and that is flipped for the upper unit. Okay, how are the plans, Mr. Robinson?
The plans are good. I think you hit on the general concerns on the front lower level garden level bedroom. I think we sort of tried to steer away from this condition, obviously, and it's not, a little step up. It's at least a foot. It looks like a foot and some change to get up. So it's quite an encumbrance, I think, to get out of that front bedroom. I don't have any other issues with the rear addition or even the rooftop addition. It is flagged as an additional height, but main concern is on that front bedroom and the egress out of that. So.
And what is your read on the head house?
I mean, I think the head house, it's not called out as a program, but it's large enough as a room. So it seems that it's actually will be a usable additional FAR. And I think it's large enough to be used. It's not just sort of an access point, which I think is probably better in some ways, for some additional space up there. And it is flagged as the additional floor height for the zoning. So
Okay.
I don't necessarily have an issue with it.
Okay, is anybody here to speak in support of this project? I'd like to hear from elected officials or representatives of elected officials first.
Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, I'd like to go on record in deferring to the board's judgment on this matter. By way of some background information on the community process conducted by my colleague, an abutters meeting was held October 13th. The applicant responded to questions brought up by the neighbors. They received support from direct abutters, and they received a letter of support from the Mission Hill Neighborhood Housing Services. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else on either in support or in opposition of this proposal?
Madam Chair, we do have a couple of letters of support.
Thank you. Ms. Ambassador, do you see any raised hands?
Sorry, Madam. No raised hands.
Okay. May I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to approve with BPDA design review as well as no building code relief associated with the lower level bedroom. I think there's an issue with the utility room also opening off the bedroom. So I think there's there might be some reconfiguration going to happen in the ultimate plan.
Mr. Robinson, may I ask if that will take care of that bedroom issue, or should we be more specific about eliminating that front bedroom?
I mean, I do think there's the potential for reconfiguring this, that the rear is a full walkout, so I think there is potential. So I can adjust the proviso to remove the front bedroom. So approve with BPDA design review, no building code relief, and remove the front bedroom of the garden level unit.
Okay.
I'll second
Thank
that
you.
motion.
I too am in support, so the motion and those provisos carries. So you're all set. Good luck.
Calling the next case, calling BOA 123-9375, 10 Nottingham Street. This is a curb cut for the driveway for 4 vehicles. The violation is Article 10, Section 1, the limitation of area of accessory uses, and Article 65, Section 9, insufficient open space. Name and address for the record, please. Is Mr. Malcolm on?
Yes, he
Uh,
is. Winston, you
yes, I-
go ahead.
Hello?
Yep, go ahead. We can hear you.
Hi. Yeah, I've talked to many neighbors, and I don't know if I,
Mr. Malcolm, please put your name and address on the record. And can you just start off explaining to us what you're planning on doing?
Winston Malcolm, 10 Nottingham Street, Dorchester, Mass. 02121. Basically, this was already done before I was here. The asphalt in the driveway. I'm just trying to get a curb cut, and that's it. And
So is that a one family or a two family?
it's a 2-family.
It is a two family, okay. And then tell us what that B and H stands for. That's a bulkhead.
That's the bulkhead to the basement.
So, and give us so the driveway is 10 feet wide by how deep is it?
It actually goes all the way back from what they're drawing, but I can stop it and take it up and stop it, say at the bulkhead if needed. You know, whatever would work.
Okay,
Really.
and is there parking on that side of the street on Nottingham on the street?
Yes, there is.
Okay,
It's a one-way street.
okay. How are the plans, Mr. Robinson?
So
Excuse me?
the plans are the can you hear me fine? Sorry. The plans are fine except for, I mean, by my calculation, the depth of the full site is only 80 feet. So there's no way to park 4 cars in this front to back. I mean, a regular space is per
Well, that's a mistake
statute.
on. I'm sorry to interrupt you. That's a mistake on the architect, the engineer. I was trying to get a hold of him. It's hard for me to get a hold of him to even try to change the plans.
So, Mr.
I-
Malcolm, what's your intention? How many cars do you
I-
intend to
I-
park?
Two cars.
2 cars, yeah, okay.
Okay,
Because two cars, I think would fit on the side, no problem with the width. Obviously you're not allowed to park in the front yard. So I think it's adequate in terms of managing 2 cars sort of in tandem, I guess.
okay,
The driveway seems to meet the requirement of the 10-foot wide curb cut. So that's
okay.
my only question.
Thank you, Mr. Fortune. Any comment from Mr. D'Amico?
There is none.
Okay, is anybody here to speak either in support or in opposition of this proposal?
Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, the Mayor's Office would like to defer to the judgment of the board. By way of some background information from the community process conducted by my colleague, the abutters meeting was held on September 21st. And the applicant had direct abutter support as well as additional community support. And it sounds like the local Main Street District as well was in support of this proposal. Thank you.
Madam Chair, we do have a few letters of support. We also have 1 letter of opposition, but it might have been because there were 4 vehicles, but it actually is 2.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Ambassador, are there any raised hands?
No raised hands, Madam Chair.
Okay, given that information, may I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve with the proviso for only 2 cars and no front yard parking.
I'll second that motion.
I too am in support, so you're all set with those provisos.
Calling the next case, calling BOA 125-1800-191 Milton Street. This is install a 10-foot by 10-foot pergola, 4 8x8 post, 12 by 48 footings. The violation is Article 65, Section 9, side yards insufficient. Name and address for the record, please. Mr. Powers on. Or somebody representing
Nope.
191 Milton.
No one has checked in for that one.
Okay, I'll hold that one to the side.
Okay.
Go to the next case, calling BOA 120-3714, 241 Chestnut Avenue. This is install new decking and railings on existing deck, framing to remain, and extend deck as shown. Install a new hot tub. The violations, Article 9, Section 1, reconstruction extension of a non-conforming building. And Article 55, Section 9, insufficient rear yard setback. Name and address for the record, please.
My name is Timothy Burke. I have a business address of 142 Berkeley Street in Boston. I'm the architect and representing the owners of this condominium unit in Jamaica Plain. And thank you for this opportunity to present the project. This is an existing deck that is non-conforming. If we can go to the site plan, though, it's an interesting site in that there is a large piece of land behind this house that actually belongs to the owners. It's just deeded to be left wild and open. So it's that area you see in the middle there called City of Boston. This land was sold off to all the abutters. So even though it looks like it's right on the rear lot line, when you're there, you perceive it as a large yard out in the back, and people use it to walk dogs and be outside. So we didn't feel like it was a real imposition on the rear yard setback in this case.
Tell
It
us
isn't-
about, so Mr. Burke, tell us about the dimension of that deck. And it looks like, it says your rear yard is, okay. So is this a 2-family dwelling? Is that what the nonconformity is?
The nonconformity is for the deck itself. It's 2 feet off the rear lot line of this parcel of land.
So what's the zoning district?
This is a 2F 7000.
And how many units in this building?
2.
Two units, okay.
My clients live in the unit that we're talking about, yes.
Okay, and what's the dimension, I'm sorry, did you say of the deck?
The overall size of the deck?
Yes.
If I can go to the plan, I don't remember it right off, but it is right on the plan view. It's back one slide, please. There it is here. It's 19 feet long and 16 feet deep. And then
Okay.
we're adding on that hot tub that you see on the left, that it abuts a giant piece of pudding stone that sits on the property. So it's kind of well concealed there.
Okay, how are the plans, Mr. Robinson?
Plans are good, no question, and I agree with Mr. Burke. You know, the rear yard is sort of the urban wild back there, so no questions on the proposal.
Is anybody here to speak either in support or in opposition of this proposal?
Madam Chair, members of the board, Connor with the Mayor's Office Neighborhood Services. At this time, the Mayor's Office would like to defer to the board's judgment. I'm afraid I don't have notes on this regarding the community process. Our liaison is not in the country right now, so my apologies.
Okay, no worries.
Madam Chair, we do have 4 support letters.
Okay, may I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that motion.
I too am in support, so you're all set. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Calling the next case, calling BOA 125-4317, 293 Stratford Street. This is a proposed addition, consists of a front dormer, deep and rear shed dormer, and new 3rd level master suite. Violation Article 56, Section 8. FAR is excessive. Article 56, Section 8, the building is excessive in stories. Name and address for the record, please.
Krista, you've been unmuted.
Dermot Doyen should be on the call. He's representing us.
Oh, he just joined. Yep,
Thank you.
no problem. All right. Dermot,
Name and address for the record, please.
Dermot, can you hear? Oh, there you go. Go ahead. Go ahead, Dermot. State your
Yeah.
name and address for the record.
So yeah, Doyne Law, 68 Harvard Street, Brookline. I'm an attorney and I represent the ladies.
So tell us what's being proposed.
Yeah, we're looking for relief on 2 zoning violations. One's in FAR, which is excessive. The maximum allowed is 0.4. We're looking for 0.43. And there's a second one for excessive stories, which really it says maximum allowed 2.5. We're actually staying at 2.5, and the height is not changing at all. So we're
Okay,
basically,
so give us a little bit of background. Is this a 1 or a 2 family?
it's a 1 family, and basically my clients are putting a rear dormer, which is not going to be from road view. It's going to be at the back of the house, and a small dormer coming out to the front. They've recently moved last year or 2, and they really just want a little bit more space on that 3rd level. They've done some extensive outreach. They've got, if I could show you a picture, they got a letter from every abutter. They got 15 letters.
Thank you. Can you hold on for a second? How are the plans, Mr. Robinson?
The plans are good. It's very straightforward. I mean, just adding a rear dormer along the length in the back for an enlarged bedroom in the attic space, I'll call it, and then a front dormer for a sitting room. I think it's no questions on the proposal. I understand.
Is anybody here to speak in support or in opposition to this proposal?
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board, Jack Duggan, Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, the Mayor's Office would like to defer to the judgment of the board. The applicant did complete a full community process. They went before the West Roxbury Neighborhood Council back on October 26, 2021, and received their full support. In addition, as Dermot mentioned, they have 15 letters of support that have been submitted to the ZBA. Thank you.
Thank
Madam
you.
Chair, we do have those letters, Secretary.
Okay,
Madam Chair, I have no raised hands.
thank you. May I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that motion.
With straight approval, Mr. Robinson?
Yep, I think it's consistent with the neighborhood and no questions. It's very straightforward.
I too am in support, so the motion carries.
Thank you very much.
We're all set. Good luck.
Thank you.
Calling the next case, calling BOA 125-6458, 176 Manuel Street. This is converting the 2nd floor attic space into living space with the shed dormer. The living area will also consist of 2 bedrooms. The violation is Article 51, Section 9, building height is excessive in stories. Article 51, Section 9, the front yard is insufficient. And Article 51, Section 9, the side yard is insufficient. Name and address for the record, please.
My name is Teresa Gallagher. I am the owner of 176 Faneuil Street.
Okay, can you tell us, is this a 1 or a 2 family?
It's a 2-family.
And do you live in the property?
I do not live in the property. I live right behind it. Our backyards are the same.
Okay, so tell us what you're proposing to do.
We are proposing to add 2 bedrooms in the attic on one side and a bathroom on the other side.
So that unit would become a 4-bedroom unit?
3-bedroom.
It would become 3-bedroom, okay? And the lower floor is how many bedrooms?
1 bedroom.
Okay. How are the plans, Mr. Robinson?
Hello, I'm back. Sorry, I'm not sure what happened.
How are the plans?
Plans are good. No questions on the scope, and the dormers are on the side, so they're not facing the street. So I think it's pretty straightforward.
Okay. Is anybody here to speak either in support or in opposition of this proposal?
Madam Chair and members of the board, Connor Newman with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, the Mayor's Office would like to defer to the board's judgment. By way of some background information on the community process, the applicant met with the Brighton Alston Improvement Association and received their full support. Also during the community process, the mayor's office received one letter of support, and State Rep Kevin Honen's office also indicated they were in support of this proposal as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, we have one support letter.
Thank you.
No raised hands, Madam Chair.
You may have a motion, please.
I'll make a motion to approve. Approve.
I'll
Okay,
second that motion.
I too am in support, so you're all set. Good luck.
Thank you.
On the next case, calling BOA 1235458 11 Atlantic Street. This is to confirm occupancy of the one family and change to a two family. Basement and roof structural work. Violations, Article 68, Section 29, roof structure restrictions. Article 68, Section 8, front yards insufficient. Article 68, Section 8, side yards insufficient. And Article 68, Section 8, the additional lot area is insufficient. Name and address for the record, please.
Good afternoon, Madam Chair and members of the board. My name is Attorney Patrick Mahoney with the business address of 160 Federal Street. I represent the homeowner, Frank Bridgman. Madam Chair, what we have before us is an existing single family at 11 Atlantic Street. My client's seeking to add space to the rear as well as change the use from a single family to a two family. And also in the rear on the first floor will be a garage space added. Unit 1 is a one bedroom unit, a floor through on the first floor. It's 997 square feet. Noticeably removed from the basement is any bedrooms and living space. As the last hearing that we deferred, we did remove a roof deck as well as a portion to the rear of the building and the bedrooms in the basement. Unit 2 is a two bedroom unit, approximately 1,773 square feet. And this one bedroom located on the second floor adjacent to the floor through living room kitchen, as well as a master bedroom on the top floor with a small area that walks up to a deck.
Okay. And so did you say that, okay, so there's one parking spot then in the rear?
There's one garage space, yes.
Okay. And no roof decks. Okay. How are the plans, Mr. Robinson?
The plans I have show a basement unit and a roof deck. I'm sure I have it.
So, yeah, they've been
I'm
updated.
seeing the plan on the
and-
screen. I'm seeing the plan on the screen that looks like the bedroom has been removed.
Mhm.
I don't have that plan. I mean, it's the same
I can-
configuration. Yeah.
I
So,
can email you that, Mr. Robinson. It was
So,
updated just a couple weeks ago.
Mr. Mahoney, is the plan that's up on the screen the correct plan?
It appears so. If you could go down to plan, I think it's 2.0 A200.
Yeah.
Yes,
That-
it
I
is.
have
Yeah.
a different set of plans. I can see. I
Yeah.
see. There's no roof. I mean, I understand the project enough. There's no roof deck shown. I see that, and there's no basement shown in the plans online, not the ones I have. But
Yeah.
okay,
And I apologize, Mr. Robinson. That
that's
was
okay.
recently
I'm,
updated.
no, I'm not sure if I just don't have those plans in front of me. So I see the commonality of it. I think with the understanding those two things are removed, I don't have any questions about the proposed scope.
Okay. Is looking at this slide here, Mr. Mahoney, is that a garage door then at the rear of the building that's proposed?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Is anybody here to speak either in support or in opposition of this proposal?
Hi, Madam Chair, members of the board, Haley Dillon, Mayor's Office, Neighborhood Services. At this time, we'd like to defer the vote to the board. I do want to point out that we had a thorough community process and all questions were answered by abutters. Thank you.
Hi, Madam of the Chair, members of the board, Ana Calderon from Councillor Flink's office. The councillor would like to go on record in support. There was a good community process. The proponent worked with neighbors on issues by removing a bedroom in the basement and one on the second floor unit, as well as removal of the roof deck and third floor addition. Thank you.
Madam Chair, we do have letters of support, but nothing since the last time they were here,
Okay,
updated.
okay.
No
May I
raised
ha-
hands.
Thank you, Ms. Ambassador. May I have a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to approve with the proviso of no bedroom in the basement and no roof deck, just because I don't have the plans in front of me.
Okay,
I understand.
I'll second that motion.
I too am in support. So, motion carries. Since it looks like, the staff has it, Mr. Robinson,
Yep.
maybe that could be stamped on your behalf.
Yep.
Okay,
Calling the- Sorry.
go ahead, please.
Calling the next case, calling BOA 124-4821, 16 Courtney Road. This is proposed to construct a 2.5-story addition at the rear of the existing structure with full basement, kitchen, family room on first floor, master bathroom, full bath on second floor. The violation is Article 56, Section 8. The floor to area ratio is excessive. On Article 56, Section 8, side yard is insufficient. Name and address for the record, please.
Michael and Jane Kilgannon, 16 Courtney Road, West Roxbury.
Good evening, Madam Chair and board member. My name is Mai Fong at Fong Posio Studio of Architecture at 204 Adam Street, Dorchester, Mass. 02122 for the record.
Thank you. It's good to see you again, Mr. Fung. Can you tell us what's being proposed?
Yes, good to see you again. It has been a while. The proposed will be one 2.5-story addition right at the rear of the existing property. The existing house is really small. It's only 21 by 31 feet, which is about 600 square feet each floor. And the proposed addition will be 20 by 26.5 feet with the bathroom, with the kitchen and family room on the first floor, master bedroom in the second floor with the full bath.
Okay.
And
Yes,
the violation, sorry.
And
violation,
go ahead, go ahead.
The violation is really minimum. With this 7-10 feet side yard in the right-hand side, but we have 7'6", which is we propose addition. It will be aligned with the existing footprint of the building. And the FAR was only 230 square feet over the requirement, which is 0.4, and the proposed will be 0.45.
0.43.
Okay, okay, and I do know how tiny those houses are on Courtney. How are the plans, Mr. Robinson?
Plans are good, no questions. No scope in the basement, is that correct?
That is correct. It's a full basement as a storage.
Full basement, but you're not, no bedrooms, nothing getting.
No, nothing like that, no.
Okay,
I have no questions, yep. Straightforward.
is anybody here to speak either in support or in opposition of this proposal?
Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board. Jack Duggan, Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. At this time, the Mayor's Office would like to defer to the board for their judgment. The applicant did go through the community process. They went to the West Roxbury Neighborhood Council back in October on the 26th and received a support vote of 7 in support and 1 in opposition. In addition, I have received a few letters of oppositions, 2 from direct abutters, and I've also received several letters of support that have all been submitted to the ZBA. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, we have those letters as well.
Thank you.
Thomas Jacobson here, Madam
Madam
Chair.
Chair, I have one raised hand.
Thank you.
Caller number 5, you've been unmuted.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My name is Dan Robinson, and I live with my wife, Patricia Connors, at 20 Courtney Road, and we are direct abutters to the property in question. The proposed added space includes a second full basement that extends the house out an additional 20 feet into the yard. The new enlarged house would be 2,236 square feet in area. That's substantially larger than the size of the direct abutters homes on Courtney Road. In fact, our house at only 950 square feet will be overwhelmed by such a looming structure just 15 feet away. Because of its height and projection well into the backyard, new large shadows will be created in all directions throughout the day. These shadows will greatly diminish the amount of sunlight we receive in our home and backyard, and the mass of the building itself will almost completely block our view of open green space and the western sky from our sun porch and patio. A huge precedent will also be set. None of the
Okay.
homes,
So can you, beside, other than precedent, do you have anything else to add? Because
other than the precedent,
you've talked
Yeah,
about the size, you've talked about the impact on your project as far as on your house, as far as view. You've talked about, let's see, precedent. Is there anything else?
privacy. My
Okay,
wife and I will
privacy.
personally lose privacy,
Okay,
and there's no long-term benefit to the neighborhood.
okay.
It'll adversely affect the neighbors and set a dangerous precedent that will encourage more oversized homes to be built in an already dense neighborhood of modest homes. Thank you.
Thank
May I?
So, Mr. Fung, may I just get this straight? That your violation is side yard insufficiency, but that's not because you're extending into the side yard, it's what the side yard already is, right?
That is correct.
Okay, and then, so I'm just looking at your violations. So you meet the height, in fact, are you below the height requirement?
Below the height. Fine.
Okay, okay, and as far as the FAR, your required is 0.4 and your point proposal is 0.45. Okay. Given all that information, may I have a motion, please?
Madam Chair, I'm here for the direct abutter on the other side of Courtney Road. My name is Jonas Jacobson. I submitted a memorandum in opposition to this project. I'd like to be heard in opposition.
Sure, thank you. And tell us if you're any points that you have to make, that you can make that's different than what the abutter made at 20 Courtney.
Sure. So with respect to the project on my client's side, so my client is the direct abutter on the other side, they're extending the back deck along the side of my client's house, which means she already hears them in the night. My client is 82 years old. She's not only going to hear them sort of from the center of their property, but it's going to be like they're in her house. It's only 6 feet.
Yeah, I know how tight those lots are. So yeah, so
That's
it's
one issue.
Noise
There's
due to deck.
the shading
Yeah.
out issue referenced by the other abutter. I also note that in order to grant this variance, Mr. Kilgannon is going to need to make a showing of hardship. I'd ask the court for written findings on the issue of hardship before approving the motion. The other thing is that the construction itself is guaranteed to be lengthy because of the thin passage through which construction vehicles and construction workers are going to have to travel. They're going to have to walk right by my client's window. She's 82 years old. She doesn't want to be disturbed or uncertain in her life by the noise of construction workers passing. And no matter what you say about construction workers are going to try to keep it down, we all know that, you're working a job and it's.
So hold on, Mr. Jacobson. So so your concern is shading, privacy, the noise due to not only construction but to the deck. Okay. So anybody else, Ms. Ambassador, to speak on this proposal?
I also just asked the court to make a finding with respect to hardship, which I don't think is present in this case.
Okay, thank you.
Precondition to approving the variance.
Thank you. Miss Ambassador, anybody else to speak either in support or in opposition?
No, Madam Chair, there's no
Could,
reason.
could I just speak a bit? Could I just offer a brief statement?
Very brief because yes, go ahead.
Okay,
Put your
I
name
just-
and address on the record.
Mike Kilgannon and Jane Kilgannon, homeowners.
Okay.
I'm coming into my 55th year of living in the house. I've always been a great supporter of the community, a great neighbor. And it's the only reason we're doing this is to create some space where family and friends can get together. This is no buy and flip sort of situation. We're long-term commitment to the community and to the city. And
Okay,
so we appreciate your time and consideration.
thank you.
Madam Chair, I actually have one raised hand.
Okay, let's hear from it and then we'll move on to the next project.
Good evening. Good evening. My name is Matthew Conley. I live across the street at 27 Courtney Road. I speak for myself and my neighbor Mary Mullen, who lives next door, who's also 83 years old. And I just wanted to say that I don't think they're asking for much if you look in context of how much, because obviously they already have the ability to do an addition, but I don't think they're asking for much. And these people are incredible neighbors, and I really believe that throughout this whole entire process, they will be extremely considerate, especially during construction of other neighbors, because that's the type of people they are. And also the street is very, very quiet. There's plenty of parking and availability. I don't think there'll be a problem getting workers in and out of here respectfully and quietly. And I know these people will take everybody's thoughts and feelings into consideration. That's why I support them.
So you're representing yourself at 27 Courtney?
Yes, ma'am.
And you said you were also representing your neighbor. What address is she at?
She's directly next door to me. Mary Mellon is at 31.
Okay, 27 and 31 Courtney. Okay, excellent. Mr. Ambassador, anybody else?
May I?
Anybody else?
I
Okay.
have caller number 5. Are you?
I thought we heard from caller number, did we hear from caller?
His hand is still raised. Caller number 5.
Is that Dan Robinson? I'll take it down.
Okay, all right, thank you. So no, all done, Madam Chair.
Okay.
Madam Chair, can I have a last word?
Yes, please, and then we need to take a motion quickly, please.
Okay, as the other person mentioned earlier, that the addition would be 2,236 square feet. That's untrue because the existing house right now is 1,200 square feet. And the addition for both floors is only 160 square feet. That brings up to 2,236 total, not the 2,236
No,
square feet addition.
we got the total was 2,236.
That
Again,
is correct.
what is the existing?
1,200 square feet.
Okay, so you're adding about 1,000 square feet.
That is correct. And as I mentioned earlier, the FAR is only 236 square feet over.
Okay, so given all that information, may I have a motion, please?
Just before you vote, can I just have a confirmation from the board that they received the 9-page memorandum that I submitted and had the opportunity to review?
Excuse me, this is the chair's asking for a vote. Ms. Ambassador, can you mute everybody else?
This is Eric. I will make a motion to approve with BPDA design review.
I'll second that motion.
I too am in support, so the motion carries. With that proviso, good luck.
Madam Chair, I'm going to go back to a case I called earlier to see if they're on. Case BOA 125-1800-191 Milton Street.
Gerald is still not in. Nope.
Okay. Well, it's now 5:48. I'm going to make a motion for denial without prejudice.
Okay.
Erica, you in a second?
I'll second that.
I too am in support, so it's denied without prejudice. That was the last case, so the meeting for tonight is now adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.